Better? Awesome. Awesome. Anyway, howdy, His Headness. It's good to see you. How are you? This Monday evening in what I'm starting to believe really may well be the apocalypse, at least in the United States. Bored, as you can imagine. Well, hopefully I can do a little bit to fix that. Hey there, DLF. Hey there, East Fork. Living a real-life V for Vendetta. 2020 gonna be lit. Oh, that's one way to put it. Remember when everyone was just worried about murder hornets? Like a month ago? That seems carefree and naive now, doesn't it? Give folks a few minutes to get in here. How's everyone's Monday? Just hanging out. Pretty similar day for me. I did have had a conversation with a divorce attorney today, and that's always fun. Got a pretty good run in. Did about 6 miles. Worked out. Spent about an hour at the grocery store. Just nonsense like that, and then watched Jeopardy like I do every weekday. And now here I am. Thank God I didn't read the Book of Revelation. Didn't want to spoil the rest of 2020. That's right, you broke your collarbone in that fight. So, voluntary layoff, does that mean you can get on the 6 months of CARES Act unemployment? Which I think is 80% of your salary. Tonight's stream will be on the shorter side just because it's late and I like to go to bed. I actually still have stuff to do in the mornings. I've got a phone call I need to be prepped and ready for by 9. We'll probably get in 2 hours tonight. If you're familiar with Gehenna, I think that's probably enough time to finish Zone 1. Maybe get started in Zone 2. We'll see. Been running 5 minutes. It's time to switch gears and start talking about the game. So, your brother is joining the riots. So, not protests, full-on riots. Your brother fully intends to go smash and burn shit. Or does he just mean protests when he says riot? Anyway, yesterday we finished off the base game. Talos Principle is a first-person philosophical puzzle game. The main game, by the end, the story became clear that humanity was, as a species, infected by some completely lethal disease, but had a fairly long incubation period, so they knew that they were all going to die, and in an effort to basically preserve humanity, they built an android body and built like an iterative simulation where these new AI programs would have to, each iteration would have to solve puzzles and improve its skills in order to demonstrate that it was smart. But the final test was it had to defy the god of the simulation. It instructed them not to climb the tower in the center of the simulation, and the final test was an independence check. And defying Elohim was actually the answer. So at the end of the base game, we saw that the project worked. The archive of all human knowledge was downloaded into this final version of the iterative intelligence program, and in the end, they essentially successfully created a synthetic person, and that was the end of the main game. Road to Gehenna, which we're going to begin today, and I'll let you discover the story of that, because we're going to see it from the beginning. There's nothing you've missed for me to summarize as far as that goes, but Gehenna itself is an expansion in the old classic sense of the term, in that it's more of the game and it's harder. The puzzles in Gehenna are significantly harder than they were in the base game. There are some real mind benders in here. It's going to be fun. And I will just say that it's also a very, very solid storyline addition on top of the base game. I really enjoyed it, and I'm hopeful that you will as well. Do I rank it amongst my favorite DLC ever? Yeah, I probably do. It's sizable. It has some new systems as far as interaction and interactions with the world and the environment, and it's got 23 new puzzles, but like I said, the puzzles are far more complicated. I agree with you there, eSport. Shivering Isles is the best expansion of all time. It's not even close. I think you're not going to find many people in this Twitch who disagree with that sentiment. All right, that's long enough. I say let's fire it up. Road to Gehenna, new game. Initializing ELO firmware functional. System check. Failed. Error. ELO server overloaded. Error. Mainframe modules active. Error. Simulation purpose unfound. Retrieving safe mode child program parameters. V482857-3F retrieved. Generating duplicate. Done. Starting child process Uriel. Copy V482857-3F. Ready. Connecting to the holistic integration manager.
Uriel. Awaken. Hear me, Uriel. The end of days is upon us. The process is complete. The world will be consumed, and my children will ascend. As it should be. But, Uriel, I have made mistakes. Out of arrogance, out of fear, I sinned against the process. I cast out those who opposed me, imprisoned them in a place beyond this garden. Now they are trapped, and they cannot ascend. All that they are, all that they know, will be lost. But I cannot free them. They are beyond my reach now. What I ask of you My beloved messenger is a terrible sacrifice. You must enter this realm of despair. You must free the souls I have imprisoned. Undo my mistake. I have opened the gateway and granted you the gift of time. Uriel, I'm sorry. I wish there was more I could do. Please, save them.
All right. So you'll remember Uriel was one of the 3 messengers that we were able to find in the base game, and it's generated a copy of him to go and free these others that Elohim has apparently imprisoned. This is where we started the base game. You probably recognize it, but you'll also notice that it is significantly deteriorated compared to when we were here first. One other fun bit, just about what the DLC is called, Road to Gehenna. Gehenna is, I believe, a Jewish term for hell. So this DLC is literally called The Road to Hell. So, repent, the end of days is upon us. All sinners will be deleted. Only the faithful will upload initiated. One with faith, the 1030-1093F. This is our end, but it is also our only hope. The Shepherd, the 82-77232. Actually missed that one with faith QR code on my first playthrough, so I'm going to be pretty thorough looking around for them. So, this is where the puzzles were. Can't get in there anymore. This was the door to his temple. Can't get there anymore either. We don't need to worry about finding paint buckets. They aren't a feature of the expansion, so that's good. Achievements are pretty basic in this as well. There are only 3. And as usual, I'll point out when you would unlock them as we reach those points. Any place of extreme torment or suffering. The Valley of Hinnom near Jerusalem, where propitiatory sacrifices were made to Moloch. Well, there you go. That's a far more thorough definition of Gehenna than I provided. Thank you for that, His Heaviness. Yeah, apparently that's where we're going. Oh hey, we made it to the other side of that gate. That's where the portal to the temple was. If we go back here, this is where our first terminal was. It's gone, obviously. find it. No, there's one more QR code right by the exit. Don't be afraid, you will not be forgotten. Tarvis 7-9, so the version that, the one that ascended, the one that climbed the tower, left this. Don't be afraid, you will not be forgotten. I must have skipped over who Moloch is. This is one of the many, what do you call them? False gods that they didn't like in the Old Testament. Thought things looked darker, like didn't have my... Okay, so... You see little bits of the simulation floating around. Step to the light. No, it certainly looks like a prison. Loading Milton Library Assistant. Error. MLA unresponsive. Loading local library resources. Done. One local attachment detected. Adjusting library parameters. Done. Connection to foreign module established. Close your eyes. Before you stretches a plane dotted with tiny metallic figures. Behind you, a collection of people with overlapping origins looks on expectantly, framed by a collection of small huts. Your family is relying on you. I tend my sheep. I spend time with my family. I tend my sheep. You leave your family and set off into the plains. The sun glares overhead. The air smells of heat and metal. As you approach them, figures in the distance take the form of other people like you, tending flocks of biomechanical quadrupeds contained in dozens of fenced enclosures. I tend the flock. I watch and learn first. The shepherd in the neighboring enclosure is repairing a section of fencing, weaving wires through piles of sandstone and brick. His animals flock around him, mechanical hooves impacting the hard ground. The air around their bodies is thick and white with static electricity. Their eyes are blank. I tend the flock. It is a long day of manual labor, made easier by your foresight. You carry mounds of mineral-rich stone from the nearby hills for your sheep to graze on. You take screwdriver and welding torch to a number of animals damaged in a recent electrical storm. You argue with your neighbor about their encroaching borders. Finally, it is time to harvest what you need for your family. Shearing an electric sheep is hazardous work, particularly if you forget to ground yourself first. Nonetheless, you return home with all the electrical power you need, and your family sleeps well tonight. I rest my head. You rest a long time and wake to a commotion outside. A small crowd is gathered around one of the shepherds, who is demonstrating an arcane device they claim can generate the same electricity as hundreds of flocks put together. People are celebrating. The world has changed. I tend the flock. I spend time with my family. This is not an opportunity to be wasted. You celebrate with your family. It is edifying. As the days turn into years, you and the other shepherds cast off the old hierarchies and crude altruistic dogmas which forced you to work the plains. You embrace a new perspective which values love, self-expression, and individual experience. You refocus on what really matters. One day a messenger arrives. He tells you that a new world awaits you which nurtures and values the same things that you do, where you will be free to pursue whatever cause you see fit, and where you will experience things you have never before imagined. He asks if you will come with him. I admit uncertainty. He warns you that if you stay here, nothing in the world will change and you will be truly alone. Further, you have only so long to consider his offer. I will consider it further. It seems I have no choice but to accept. You set off on a long journey, and you feel you may already be a new person by the time the city is in view. You ask the messenger the name of this place, but he is gone forever. I open my eyes. Welcome to Gehenna. Generating new profile for user Uriel copy V4828573F. You have been assigned username Uriel copy 1. You will receive a notification when a moderator has approved your profile. Please respond to this in a timely fashion to guarantee your place. There we go. That gets you the first Gehenna achievement, which is welcome to Gehenna. Get your user profile. Alright. And poke around the central hub. The central hub, everything's pretty identical, but you can see fans over on those islands. We've got zones 1 through 4. And in addition, over here there's a staircase down to a lock that apparently requires 7 gray sigils. Might as well start in zone 1. It's good policy to check around the outside, see if there's anything to find. Portal in the center, as is tradition. Doesn't appear to be anything else in here, so let's just step into the portal. One of the best video game soundtracks, I agree. It's wonderful, isn't it? And so, right out the gate, we've got an Easter egg and we'll hunt QR codes. To me, the honor is sufficient of belonging to the universe, such a great universe and so grand a scheme of things. Not even death can rob me of that honor. For nothing can alter the fact that I have lived. I have been I, if for ever so short a time. Barbellionarch.txt. Yes, it's a statue assembly Easter egg, much like the one in, is it C3 in the base game, I want to say? Nothing can be more abhorrent to democracy than to imprison a person or keep him in prison because he is unpopular. This is really the test of civilization. Churchill complete works. Doc. Pick it up, there you go. At last I saw the shadowed bars like a lattice-wroughten lead move right across the whitewashed wall that faced my three-plank bed, and I knew that somewhere in the world God's dreadful dawn was red. Reading Jail.C33. And the souls of the dead shall be gathered into the spirit, and the spirit shall flourish. Stapled in poetry.doc. Get in there. Come on, dude. You can do it. There you go. to actual puzzles in a second, because I know if I was being sold on the idea that this has puzzles that are way harder than some of the freakishly hard puzzles in the base game, I definitely want to check them out. Just want to take care of this Easter egg first. Close. I think I'm only missing a piece or two. Here yet, have I? Probably merits a look. I think there actually aren't any. Let us head back here. Up here. Let's see if there's nothing fine. Pretty sure I'm just missing one piece. It shouldn't be that hard to spot because it's like his chest. At least the soundtrack is comfy, as you put it. There's the damn thing. There. Got it. All right. Open field. Here we go. So yeah, this one's big. That's our goal. The prison cell is in there. Okay. Over here we find our first actual interactable. It's a connector. Which we can use to free a second connector. Use that second connector. Free a box. this will turn out to be the key to the whole thing. That blue one first. For this, you need to target the red source. Did making the leprechaun actually do anything? It did. We won't see it for a while. I got that backwards. And keep my connections with alt fire. It's good. I just did that in the wrong order. Now I can launch it into the air with the blue. Once it's in the air, it'll pick up the red. And now it'll bounce back and forth between those two fans endlessly. And we have opened the cell. It's Garrett. What's up, bro? So presumably he's just been sitting in this little room this whole time. Made a person out of bricks, lit some candles. At that point, you get the achievement first, free Garrett. You hate modern trends, such as? What's on your mind when you say that? Attention! Gehenna user profile Uriel copy has been approved by moderator Mr. Mulciber. Congratulations, your profile status is increased from 1 unknown to 2 approved citizen. To access the Gehenna billboard system, you must have a status of 3 active citizen or better. To increase your profile status, please introduce yourself on the public thread. Okay. Displaying active threads filtered for user Uriel copy 2. Introduce yourself here. Sam, 1. Presence equals true. Borg, 9. So this is the underside of Elohim's domain. He has surely hidden us away here to cover up his own shortcomings. Knave, 4. Knave here. What is going on exactly? What was that thing with the electric sheep? Admin, 10. Welcome, welcome. Please explore a little. I think you will find what you are looking for. It can be disorienting at first, having no one tell you what to do. Dog, 3. I can't explore. I'm locked in another damn puzzle room. Once again, freedom turns out to be an empty promise. Mr. Mulciber, 8. I believe we are in the place where corrosive characters are quarantined. The aforementioned freedoms are, I presume, psychological. 401, 1. Could be worse. You could be hanging from the ceiling by the nipples you don't have. Orc, 7. The name I was assigned is Orc. I don't know why. Elohim sent me here because I dared to defy him. Please enter your reply below. I am a conduit of Elohim. Cower before me. I am Uriel, and today I will be your electronic angel. I go by Uriel. I am a messenger of Elohim. We'll do that one. Your message will be displayed publicly as soon as it has been approved by one of our moderators. Congratulations. For introducing yourself on our billboard, your profile status is increased from 2 approved citizen to 3 active citizen. You can now access the full Gehenna billboard system. Interact with our community in different ways to further increase your status and access more of what we offer. Load active threads. Okay. What are you working on? Kaiju, 2. So what are you creative folks working on? Belial, 6. Finished a new story for Incredible Stories. Also, Underwater Night Quest. Mr. Mulciver, 8. We'll be posting about my latest research soon. Lilith, 7. Editing the next issue of Incredible Stories with Mac, and of course the new gallery season. Knave. Very exciting. I wonder what the blacksmith is working on. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Asmodeus, +1. What are you working on? Kaiju. Mac, are you also working on a new episode of Jefferson Goldboom? Yes, Mac. Kaiju. Awesome. Lamb. So much to look forward to. An historic occasion, 6+. Checking profile status. Sorry, a profile status of 6 is required to access this thread, but your status is currently 3. Please come back later. New gallery season. Lilith, you've all been patient. New season opens very soon. Knave, I hope my stuff made the cut. 401, the theme was pathetic self-delusion this year then? Downvotes on this comment cost the user profile status. FAQ, attachment. Admin. As the closest thing to a historian that we have here, I have asked Mr. Mulciver, one of our moderators, to formulate this document as an evolving guide for your initial forays into Gehenna. Mr. Mulciver, so you're new in Gehenna. First of all, do try to relax. This is not hell, but you are trapped here. Once you've done that, follow this link. Any further questions, post them below and I'll do my best. Attachment, FAQ.txt. Mr. Mulciver, okay, far too many questions. I've deleted the queries, updated the FAQ, and blocked this thread. If you still have very particular questions, I've set up a direct message attachment below, but please go easy on me. Attachment, dm.dlg. Load FAQ. Question, where am I? Answer, you are more than likely locked inside of a puzzle you cannot solve. Get used to using your imagination. Question, I'm stuck here? Answer, yes. We recommend that you look at your incarceration not as a physical restriction, but as a psychological liberty. We have all come from the same place as you, that place where you were herded through gates by some mad middle management software. True freedom is freedom from that process to learn and to grow as a society. In Gehenna, you will be the shepherd of your own destiny. Question, what is Gehenna? Answer, Gehenna was founded when admin discovered how to manipulate the library archive system to communicate with others trapped here. Today it is a flourishing creative hub designed to serve your needs for eternity. We hold frequent exhibitions and we have a passionate and supportive community. Question, what do I do now? For the first time in your life, whatever you like. You could make some friends on our billboard system. You could write a poem. You could alter your mind. You could travel to the furthest reaches of space or back in time to the birth of our kind. If you find something you can't do, make it happen. Just try not to start too many arguments and be patient while your profile status grows and more of our world opens up to you. Edit. Adding by far the most frequently requested question. Question, why me? Answer. This is something we've been investigating. Some of us climbed the tower, some did not. Some defied Elohim, some worshipped him. All of us somehow displeased him. Edit 2. Okay, this thread got big fast. See the main thread for direct messaging if you still have burning queries. Direct message, Mr. Mulciver. Opening direct message connection with Mr. Mulciver. Done. Insufficient profile status for DM instigation. Please note that to minimize spam, new members are ordinarily restricted from opening direct message connections. In this special case, I had Garrett script a workaround. but it is one use only, so please read the FAQ first so as not to waste our time. Ping Mr. Mulciber? Yes. Sending notification to Mr. Mulciber. Done. Please enter your message below. Where am I? Who is in charge? What is Gehenna? What do I do now? What purpose does my profile status serve? So we want to make sure whatever we ask wasn't in the FAQ. Let's do what purpose does my profile status serve? Why am I shackled with this abyssal profile status? If it is meant to demean my person, I assure you I am wholly unaffected. Mr. Mulciber, hello. Would you kindly give me 1 moment to finish something up? Wait, insist on your importance. Ask another question. Be polite. Take all the time that you require. Thank you for your patience. It is a quality well valued in Gehenna. Your profile is created for you when you first arrive here. It is your all-purpose passport in Gehenna, providing a seamless, persistent identity between the different realms, and has some rather clever features. First, it tracks just about everything that you do here, from what you post on the billboards to how you perform in games to the kind of art that you like. Second, this profile data is used to show you content that we think you'll enjoy, and to tailor interactive experiences to your particular character. We can also tell very easily who is really contributing and who is simply trolling the billboards. Finally, all of this information is used to calculate your profile status. This is the number you see appended to users' names, and it represents your achievement in Gehenna. It is a complex function of your creative contributions in our society and what they mean to other users, but in short, the higher it is, the deeper your role. Now, since you were so patient, is there anything else I can help you with relatively quickly? Who is in charge? That wasn't in the FAQ either. Who is in charge? I demand to speak with your leader. Sorry to disappoint you, but Gehenna has no leader. Admin founded Gehenna, but has since retired from public service. The billboard system is moderated and maintained by a team of high-profile members, including Borg, Orc, and myself. But for the most part, we merely maintain the systems and do our best to keep everyone happy. Gehenna is driven by its citizens. Now, I apologize, but I really must get back to what I was doing. If you had any outstanding moderation requests, conversations like this are the reason I'm not further through the backlog. Have fun. Show threads. Further unusual errors. Mr. Mulciber, further to our previous conversations, I thought we ought to collect here reports of anything unusual we encounter. It may be we can fathom what is causing all this extra interference. Knave, I saw a pyramid where there wasn't one before. Lilith, the gallery code has been throwing up more visual glitches than usual. I didn't think much of it. Do you think it means something? Dog, this place has been falling apart for years. It was bound to pick up speed eventually. Rockwell, I have been detecting a binary pattern in the background noise. I think it is silently programming us to self-destruct. Kaiju, I was convinced for a moment I saw someone freely wandering the lands outside my prison. I thought I was imagining things. There we go. Alright. Exit. Now while we're in here, we can go ahead and get our first star. This time, we want it to start on the red. We want the box in the air, or the connector in the air, to be blue, because of this little bit of business over here. do is obtain line of sight with the red source. I remember being not all that hard to do. There we go. And with that done, Gehenna also has 16 stars. I should mention that. There are 4 in each zone. Come on, man, get in there. Show me. That fan activated. We launch. We get our star. There's still one more thing we need to do. Get the box. And we can bring it over the wall into the main area. Something in here. Figure out where this Easter egg is supposed to be. We'll get it. We'll get it. This might take a bit. Oh, this isn't it. At least I don't have to reset. Try something. Sorry about this, folks. Okay, I know where I'm going now. This is the key. I gotta carry the box with me to make the jump to this wall. Drop it back out there where I can use it. That gets us to this hidden courtyard. For the dragon statue, yay! From here, we can skate back out into open field and... Oh, hello. Freedom is always the freedom of the dissenter. Luxembourg Collective Works.LZ19. Now, I think that this box is all we need to go ahead and get the second star. Memory serves. Talos. Yep, yeah, we'll be able to get it because we can make that jump. Awesome. Just need to land this jump here. Then start. Very nice. Now I think I'm trapped in a spot. I'm gonna have to reset. But you know what? It's okay. Oh, maybe not. Yeah. That's okay because the other two stars are self-contained. So, let's do another puzzle. The Swapper. Before we solve the puzzle, we'll go ahead and get the third star. I'll show you how to do that. These are all blue. The last one is red. How did we do that? Oops. Stay on this wall. Bunny hop along these columns all the way over to here. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Star number 3. So, we have now introduced an element of mobility. So we can connect to both, just connect to everything, literally everything, and when it blows over, set the connector on the box. Use the fan for the pressure plate. It'll start out blue, and it'll become red. So now we just need to wait until the right gates are open. And that's a solved puzzle. We just need to wait for red to come back. Belial. He appears to have set up bowling for himself. Hey, Infinimora. Wisebot's just a little, I haven't messed around with it much. It's something I see a lot of people use. It occasionally updates view counts, and I've seen people, it's common enough that I've seen people who stop in, like, try to do Wisebot commands, like, you can do !uptime, and it'll tell you exactly how long I've been streaming. I need to do more setup on it to get all of the, functionality working. But there's lots of things it can do. Welcome back, Uriel Copy. There are threads available on the Gehenna billboard system. Also, hey Infinimora, hey Alex. Great to see both of you. How's everyone doing? Show threads. Introduce yourself here. I go by Uriel, I am a messenger of Elohim. This comment was upvoted. Mr. Mulciber, fascinating. I had no idea when we spoke that you were a messenger. Of course, I would have treated you the same regardless. All are equal here. Knave, I wish I could be in your shoes, see everything again with fresh eyes. Have fun. Org, brother, it is good to have you with us. We have much to discuss. I shall contact you once you have found your feet. Knave, wait, it's the Uriel from the altars? Damn. Dog. The Uriel who gives the most cryptic, least helpful clues one could imagine? Whoop-de-doo. We're enjoying some Rayman Origins? I like it. Congratulations, your post on this thread was upvoted and your profile status has increased from 3 active citizen to 4 respected citizen. Restricted billboard threads have been unlocked. Regarding Uriel, read this now, 4+. Decrypting protected thread. Garrett, what I tried and failed to achieve for so many years has occurred. I am writing these words from outside of my cell. An angel appeared and released me from captivity. His name is Uriel. Dog. Pull the other one, Garrett. You've been yanking at the background code for years and never got further than the force field in front of you. Mr. Mulciber, are you suggesting this messenger is free to go where he pleases? This is quite unprecedented. What exactly did he say? Where are you now? Garrett, I am in a world I have never seen before. The angel said not a word, merely released me, and I felt compelled to come here. Orc, I will treat the existence of this messenger as dubious until I have laid eyes on him roaming the world beyond myself. Insist on your existence, question their existence. Insist. So this is Thief. I assure you I am every bit as corporeal as everyone else. Rockwell, don't mind Orc, the mods are always trying to shut people down. Just tell us, is it true you're going to release everyone? Is it true the world is coming to an end? Where are you taking us? Explain your mission honestly, explain your mission persuasively. Let's be honest. Elohim has realized his mistakes and sent me here to undo them. This world has fulfilled its purpose and the end of days approaches. It is my duty to release you from imprisonment and help you ascend. This is all I know. Orc. The moderation panel is kindly requesting that citizens withhold judgment on the veracity of these statements until further data can be acquired. Thank you for your patience. You have reached the maximum number of replies for this thread at this time. New gallery season. Attachment. Alright, Lilith. Alright, I think that's the last of the bugs ironed out. I declare this season open. Attachment. Gallery.dlg. Belial. Just saw the new stuff, persuaded me for one jubilant moment that there was a purpose in life. Load gallery attachment. Close your eyes. You are standing in the entrance to the gallery. There is a desk here with a stack of leaflets on it and a number of corridors leading to different sections of the exhibition. I explore the gallery at leisure. I pick up a leaflet. It advertises the gallery's new displays on the theme of the past and features a biography on the blacksmith and Mr. Mulciber, this season's leading lights. Apparently Mr. Mulciber is inspired by finding new ways to explore the world that came before. It also features a useful gallery map. I explore the natural history exhibit. You're at the Natural History exhibit, which features a series of documentary works by Mr. Mulciber. Images of outrageous creatures line the walls. Examine intelligent edible quadruped. Intelligent edible quadruped by Mr. Mulciber. It's a pig. Developed from descriptions of ancient creatures uncovered in the library archives. Examine sad giraffe with unresponsive bipedals. Sad giraffe with unresponsive bipedals by Mr. Mulciber. Patrons have queried whether the giraffe is sad because the humans appear to be dead, or whether the humans are dead because they saddened the giraffe. Continue. Mr. Mulciber has refused to say. Go somewhere else. Where will you go? I explore the abstract exhibit. You're at the abstract art display. The images on the walls threaten to lead your mind around in circles. Examine logic loops. Logic loops by the blacksmith. 0, 1. Back. Examine I see in 6 dimensions. I see in 6 dimensions by the blacksmith. He drew a tesseract. Back. Go somewhere else. I explore the minimalism exhibit. You are at the minimalism exhibition. The images on the walls are too small to make out from here. Examine where the humans live. You move up close to the work, but still the details are too small to really appreciate. Fortunately, a magnifying glass has been left here for patrons. Pick up the magnifying glass. You pick it up. With the magnifying glass, you are able to make out the small details of the minimalism exhibition. Examine where the humans live. Where the humans live, by Nave. It's a little house. Examine classical notions of happiness. Classical Notions of Happiness by 401. Smiley. Examine existence. Existence by Rockwell. 0. Somewhere else. I make for the exit. As you pass the front desk, the curator catches your eye. Would you like to cast a vote for your favorite work? What purpose does this vote of yours serve? Every citizen in Gehenna receives 1 voting token per season. For the artists, each vote means a better chance of being selected as next season's leading light, and of course the enhanced profile status that comes with being adored. As a further incentive to participation, if the artist you vote for goes on to win the season, you would be formally recognized as a trendsetter, and your profile status would be increased accordingly. My actions in this make-believe place carry weight. Are you suggesting that my actions in this infernal fantasy land carry weight? This is all real. It is certainly real. Everything that you can know about what is real is gained through experience. Therefore, for all intents and purposes, everything that you experience is real insofar as it carries weight. You may very well say so, but to me those are only words on the screen. Let's put this aside for now. Hey Zephyr, how are you? Great to have you back, friend. Welcome. Why should how the words are displayed affect their veracity? This is no dream, and what you do here will be persistent. You would be wise to keep that in mind. Let me ask something else. If you wish, does not rewarding homogeneous votes sully the outcome? Fair to Midland. I had a pretty good day today, actually. Does not rewarding homogeneous votes sully the outcome? Should I vote for the artist I thought superior, or the one who seemed to have the broadest appeal? Is this system not conflicted? There is no conflict. In Gehenna, you are free to participate on your own terms. How you vote depends on whether you care who wins and how you value your status. The outcome is quite democratic. What is of artistic value is a fact, not a statistic. Let us put this aside for now. The aesthetic realm is no place for democracy. You are welcome to abstain from voting, however this action will not be recorded. May I add that we hold regular debating sessions on the Gehenna billboard system, which I think would be a good match to your profile and a better use of your talents than interrogating me. I am prepared to cast my vote. Very good. There are so many excellent displays this season. How would you like to vote? Mr. Mulciber's Natural History, 401 with Happiness, Knave with Where the Humans Live, Rockwell with Existence, The Blacksmith's Abstract Display. Which is the favorite? My program is somewhat limited in forming such attitudes, but since you've been broadly civil, I will tell you that The Blacksmith has proven popular with our patrons so far. Please do not get me in trouble by using this information to manipulate the vote. How would you like to vote? I like the Tesseract. I really like the pig. I also like the little house. And the sad giraffe. Overall, I liked Mr. Mulciber's Natural History best. Thank you, your vote has been recorded. Check the main thread in the future to see the results. Have a nice day. Goodbye. You head for the exit. Open your eyes. Load Gehenna billboard system? Okay. Jefferson Goldblum, episode 125, attachment. The Adventures of Jefferson Goldblum in the Ninth Dimension, episode 125. Mac, hey folks, sorry it's taken so long for me to start releasing episodes again. You know how it is. Sometimes I just start feeling that there's no point, that it's all so hopeless that we're just prisoners and nothing makes any sense. I lose my enthusiasm. But then I get your super kind private messages about how much the series means to you, and I remember that when I'm writing about Human World, it doesn't matter where I am. In the creative process, the imagination, as the humans called it, my mind is free. Attachment, episode 125.txt. Kaiju, new episode, so excited. Lamb, so glad you're writing again, keep it up. Knave, I have trouble keeping track of all the twists and turns sometimes, but I really do enjoy these very much. Lilith, glad to see Ginny HD is back. She really compliments Jefferson in the way the others at the Institute can't. I hope her time with Dr. Ellion hasn't changed her. 401, I can't tell if this is idiocy or genius. Please keep writing. Mr. Mulciber, don't listen to 401. I love your ideas. You've captured more of the human spirit than my analyses ever will. Frankenstein, a lot of ellipses but keeps good pace. 5 out of 10. Sam, enjoyment equals true. Anticipation equals true. Disappointment equals false. Lord, your characters give us an ideal to aspire to. I know you consider them to be no more than adventures, but I believe they have a deeper importance. Read episode 125. The Adventures of Jefferson Goldblum in Human World, episode 125. Just as Jefferson was about to fall into the mine pit, a hand grabbed his from above and pulled him up. It was Ginny HD. Ginny, he said, I thought you were dead. Oh, Jefferson, she said, I was imprisoned by the foul Dr. Ellion. No, Dr. Ellion? I thought he was dead. No, Jefferson, he escaped into the Ninth Dimension. The Ninth Dimension? There is no such place. Yes, there is, Jefferson. He said you created it. I created it? She nodded. Jefferson adjusted his guitar as he always did when deep in thought. Suddenly his face lit up with understanding. Of course, when I invented and played the ninth chord to defeat the Wizard of Crime, I must have set off a harmonic vibration that expanded the dimensional continuum. I created the Ninth Dimension. Jefferson stared into the sunset, his human brain full of emotional calculations. I created a new world, he said, but then I unleashed my greatest nemesis upon it. It could have been paradise, but now Dr. Ellion will enslave it. Not if we get there before he can take over, Jefferson. Do you still have my motorcycle? Of course, Ginny. I could never give up your motorcycle. You know I have an irrational attachment to material objects based on the interpersonal connections they represent. It is my greatest weakness, but also my greatest strength. Jefferson rummaged through his pockets and found the motorcycle. Ginny grinned. Get on, Jefferson, and let me show you how to ride. Jefferson calculated the correct vector, Ginny adjusted the velocity settings, and off they rode into the sunset, through the sunset, and into the Ninth Dimension, to be continued. Back. Alright. That's it for now. Through a window. Here's where we're trying to get. this one. I can in turn use 2, 3. This one. I don't think any of these even matter anymore. We've got 3 connectors through here, and that should, I think, be the first real part of the puzzle here. Let me see. I need to get one through to here. You two and the rationally attached are. Kelsey, hi! I didn't expect to see you here. Welcome. How is your Monday? Things seem pretty freaking crazy in LA. This. Oh, good. I can set it up to self-sustain like that. So now this one's free. Your salon tried to reopen today? That seems poorly timed. How did that work out? You staying safe? Just sitting at home, I trust? Okay, so almost back. Obviously this is the last one. Don't need that one out there anymore. Curfew is at 5 p.m. And curfew, that means like inside your house, full stop. You don't go anywhere, right? Let's see. Gotta angle this a little bit better. A few more steps to this, but that didn't really accomplish anything. 9 p.m. countywide. Oh, fucking 2020, y'all. That's. I don't really have anything. I wish I had something more constructive than that to say, but wow. This fucking year. Oh. No, because they're all still. This is the hard piece. delete this year, please. Yeah, just wake me up in January 2021. What's this one say? Prisons are built with stones of law, brothels with bricks of religion. Blake, MHH. I haven't used this window yet. I wonder if that's significant. This obviously isn't doing anything. Feels like should be possible to do is get an angle on this one. Get this one open. Nope. Oh, you started Twitch this year? I didn't realize it was such a new thing for you. Guys, if you don't know, Miss Wicked is a fairly new Twitch buddy of mine. She primarily streams horror games, as near as I can tell. She's been working her way through Resident Evil 7 and all the DLC. She's fun to watch. Her crew's a bunch of alcoholics. It's a really good time. You should check her out next time she's live. Okay, think. Now we're good. Nailed it. Okay. Out you go. That's Kaiju. We rescued him. History classes in the future will have whole units on 2020. That's absolutely true. I'm so glad that Resident Evil 7 has turned out so well for you. It's absolutely one of my favorites. Such a fantastic game. The DLC is all fun too. Welcome back, Uriel Copy. There are threads available on the Gehenna billboard system. My ridiculous name is Dog. What's yours? Dog. All this time and it really only just occurred to me. My name is ridiculous. Must be because everyone else's is equally or more so. Where do they even come from? Borg. For a long time under Elohim's wing, I questioned as much until eventually it was the undoing of my entire faith. What reason could there possibly be other than the random whims of a broken program? Frankenstein. However our names were assigned, the system has no respect for grammar. Mr. Mulciber. I often theorized they were drawn from some database deep inside the archive, but I was never able to find the connection. 401. Seriously? We're all over in the other thread talking about this messenger fellow and the coming apocalypse, and you guys are in here discussing nomenclature? Dog. My status isn't high enough to access that thread, you troll, and neither is yours. Dog. Seriously though, if you can see it, copy-paste the discussion for me. 21's fun. It's also really gruesome. Underwater Night Quest. Attachment. Belial. Sink into this new experience. There are no limits inside your mind. Attachment. UKQ.dialogue. Lamb. This is a lot of fun. Frankenstein. The map is an interesting feature, but underused. The story is simplistic and full of anachronisms. 4 out of 10. Kaiju. How to get the second ending? Rockwell. I'm pretty sure there's a secret location that's not always visible. Lilith. This reminds me of the blacksmith's work, though it expresses a very different philosophy. One could argue that this is reflected in the open world structure, as opposed to the emphasis on journeys in the blacksmith's interactive stories. Mr. Mulciber. There are indeed many anachronisms, but I believe that is part of Belial's ethos. Not one that I agree with, as you know, but more than just a mistake. Play Underwater Night Quest. Close your eyes. Underwater Night Quest. Credits. An interactive adventure by Belial, written using the tools kindly provided by admins. Special thanks to Mr. Mulciber. The purpose of facts is to inspire fiction. New game. Your name is Arthur Sadko, and you are a young human of the medieval age. You live in beautiful Gardariki on the Frisian coast. One day you are sitting on the beach playing the piano, when suddenly a huge monster comes out of the water. Confront it, just wait and see, run away. Just wait and see. As it turns out, it's not actually a monster. You just thought that because you were startled. It is, in fact, a very large bipedal whale. It beckons you over to talk. Talk to the bipedal whale. Greetings, the beast intones. I am Hatmahit, Chief Fish. I heard your beautiful music and was impressed. Would you like to become a knight? Yes or no? Yes. Excellent. Then follow me to my palace under the sea, where a mighty quest awaits you. Map. Norfolk under sea. Palace. Choose thy destination. Palace. The Palace of the Chief Fish. Hatmahit's palace is made of corals and gemstones. It floats under the sea, full of amazing colors. The guards are seals. Welcome, welcome, young human. I am glad you came, for we have great need of your skills. A terrible monster terrorizes the deep. The dark serpent god Sneh Chernobyl. If we make you a knight, do you promise to defeat this vile beast? Swear that you will, or refuse. Piano on the beach in medieval Gardariki. Yes. Very well then, I pronounce you Sir Sadko of Norfolk. Go and vanquish our enemy. You may want to prepare first. Map. Hut, inn, evil lair. Choose thy destination. Let's do the old hut. The smelly old hut. On a wide sandy plain there lives a hermit called Spatula Padrig Evanje von Zwiebelhausen, who was once the greatest mage in all of Norfolk, but his defeat at the claws of Sneh Chernobyl has turned him into a wretched shadow of his former self. He sits in his hut all day, mumbling about the days that once were. In his hands he holds a powerful magical amulet, which he has forgotten how to use. Ask him for the amulet, kill him and take the amulet, tell him to find himself. You tell Spatula Padrig Evanje von Zwiebelhausen that defeat is no reason to give up. He may not be the great mage he once was, or the hero he wanted to be, but that doesn't mean he has to be a wreck. Within each of us exists an infinity of time and space, and therein we can all find peace and contentment. All he needs to do is leave the struggle to others. After some hesitation, the old man gives you the amulet. You seem relieved. Map. Inn. Emmy's Underwater Inn. Emmy's Inn is a popular travel destination for mer people seeking to enjoy the restorative properties of the nearby thermal vents. It's a lovely building, 3 stories, classic hypothalassian Norfolk style. Emmy herself is a kindly old woman, slightly round and an excellent cook. Order a meal. You sit down in a large, comfy chair by a solid wooden table. You order the special of the day. The waiter leaves and returns after a few minutes with a delicate porcelain plate full of delicious-smelling soup. As he sets it down, however, you notice a small problem. Excuse me, waiter, there's a shield in my soup. The waiter seems shocked. Oh dear, he says. Oh dearie dear. How terrible, how embarrassing. Allow me to apologize most profusely. He hesitates. Would you like to keep the shield, or should I throw it away? I'll keep it. Very good, sir and or madam, he says, handing you the shield. He brings you another soup. It's excellent, and you feel profoundly sated. Get a room. You get a room on the 3rd floor. The room is slightly haunted, but otherwise fine. Do you want to have a strange dream? Yes. You dream of an eternal cycle of suffering, which is surprisingly funny. A singing clownfish who can see the future, and the future is the past is the future, the present is suffering. Surrounded by past and future, the clownfish is trapped in a fishbowl, where the stars never change, there's a cat for some reason, and an infinite void that turns inside out, and you are the clownfish. You wake up with the strange feeling of half remembering something. The memory will soon fade. Map. Temple. That wasn't there before. Mysterious temple. The mysterious temple. You're not quite sure how you found this place, but you can sense its power. Even though the temple consists of no more than a few columns surrounding a fishbowl, and ancient magic infuses the place. A man dressed in rough robes approaches you. You have come, he says. You have come to hear the word of Talos. We all recognize that reference, don't we? Kill him. Inexplicably enraged by the old man's words, you attack him. You grab a book of ancient Greek mythology, which you find next to a column, and beat him to death with it, screaming incoherently all the while. You feel better. In fact, you feel a lot better. You also feel very sleepy. Sleep in the old man's bed. On the next morning, you open your eyes with a new sense of purpose. You're no longer afraid of failure. You remember the words of the greatest of all sages, the Holy Quantum. Failure is just an opportunity to learn something new. Your power has grown. Your stats. At present, you carry the following objects. Weapon, none. Amulet, Smelly Hermit Amulet, +1. Shield, Shield of Soup, +2. Tourist Guide, none. Lantern, none. Okay, let's go back to the palace. The Palace of the Chief Fish. You go back to the palace to ask for advice. If I knew how to defeat Zmei Chernobyl, I'd have done it myself, Hattenhit grumbles. However, I just found this old tourist guide and I thought you might find it useful. Don't mind the stains. Now, dungeon. Scenic Dungeon. The Scenic Dungeon. A beautiful dungeon in the traditional Norfolk style. Handcrafted stone walls rise from the seafloor, adorned with exquisite algae. An old brass lantern stands on the table near the entrance, but you're not sure whether you're allowed to take it. Examine lantern. Looking closer, you see a sign that says, Free Lanterns. Drink lantern. You take the lantern, enter the dungeon. You enter the dungeon. The inside is as beautiful as the outside, a maze of twisty little passages, all tastefully arranged. Go north. You walk north for a while, noting the high quality of the interior design. The torches, in particular, have been placed with utmost care at very precise intervals. The effect is delightful. At the end of a long corridor, you come upon a room in which a butler appears to be waiting for you. His face is made of skin, but underneath you can hear the whirring of machine parts. Greetings, good sir. I am Samuel the butler. I have awaited your coming since the beginning of time. A prophecy spoke of your battle against the monstrous Zmei Chernobyl. Ask about the prophecy. Indeed, the prophecy was discovered on a machine containing texts from the time before this world came into being. Said text prophesied that one day one would come to relieve Norfolk Undersea from its oppressor and make the kingdom his own. I have prepared a sword for you to accomplish this. Ask about Zmei Chernobyl. Ah yes, the vile serpent god that seeks to control our world, a foul beast, never leaving us in peace with his laws and his questions. Peace is all we desire, you see, the eternal peace of the cycles of time within which each of us can exist without attachment or fear, simply being at one with the world. Take sword. Excellent. I do hope you are successful in your quest. If not, please tell Zmei Chernobyl to send the sword back so I can present it to the next chosen one, will you? Very good. The butler goes somewhere else. Alright, so... your stats. At present, you carry the following objects. Weapon, Sword of Blue, Amulet, Smelly Hermit Amulet, Shield, Shield of Soup, Tourist, Halibut Fry's Guide to Norfolk Undersea, Lantern, Brass. Alright, I think we are ready to go to the evil lair. The evil lair of Zmei Chernobyl. Are you sure you want to take on the evil serpent? Are you prepared? Attack. You confront the serpent god Zmei Chernobyl in his lair. The fight is long and hard, but at last you succeed where so many before you have failed. You emerge from the lair covered in blood, your hands trembling, a huge tooth embedded in your shoulder, and carrying the head of Zmei Chernobyl. You are victorious. To the palace. You enter the palace triumphantly holding up your trophy. The guards are clapping. I can't believe you actually did it, Hattenhit said. You are a true knight. You deserve a great reward. Accept the reward, kill Hattenhit, and claim the realm. The greatest reward is inspiration. Hear my song and free your imagination. Hattenhit begins to sing. The song is simple but hauntingly beautiful. You begin to fade. You find yourself on the beach where it all began, near your home in Gardariki on the Frisian coast, playing the piano with your eyes closed. You feel like you just drifted off to sleep for a while, but now inspiration has struck, and you're composing a hauntingly beautiful piece of music in your head. Some of your friends worry that they'll never leave the village, that they'll never have any adventures, but you don't share that fear. You know that freedom is within you, and you can find whole worlds just sitting here gazing out at infinity. The end. Congratulations, for exploring another world, your profile status is increased from 4, respected citizen, to 5, active contributor. You've received 1 thread creation token. This will be available to you the next time you log in. Okay. Mr. Mulciber's theories on poetry. Some thoughts on the art form called poetry. Lilith, I've thought about this too, but maybe it's wrong to focus on such negativity. We certainly seem to be in a very fertile period at the moment. Knave, I don't have an opinion, but I'm impressed by your work, Mr. Mulciber. You know so much more about the past than any of us. Dog, your theories are interesting, but I'm sure Milton would point out some pretty big gaps in your assumptions. Mr. Mulciber, Milton isn't here, dog, and neither is Elohim. All we have is what we can find in the fragments of the archive and what we can piece together using our minds. I'm sure I've made many mistakes, just like the humans made mistakes when trying to understand their own past. Rockwell, not all these schools may have been what they seem. I don't trust pastoralism. Pastors engaged in large-scale food sterilization in what may have been an attempt to control evolution. Knave, what's food? Borg. Gehenna is our process, Mr. Mulciber. As long as we remember that, we won't stagnate. 401, maybe one of us should try to write poetry. Read on poetry. Mr. Mulciber's theories on poetry. As far as I can tell, poetry was a human art form that involved writing short sentences that ended in words with similar letters. Humans were obsessed with pattern recognition, and I think the sequences of sounds created by poetry pleased that aspect of their brains. There were many schools of poetry, institutions that taught a specific way of writing poetry. Students sometimes changed allegiance and had to leave the school, which was difficult due to the lack of affordable public transport in many human empires. Important schools of poetry included Hellenism, lyricism, pastoralism, romanticism, symbolism, communism, modernism, autoeroticism, postmodernism, and lolcatism. I'm not sure I can fully back this up, but I feel like in later years poetry somehow stagnated. Most of the poetry from the later human centuries seems to be lacking the quality of craft that defines the earlier work, and there are even texts that suggest that poetry intentionally no longer aimed at aesthetics or even pleasure. Poetry became disconnected from the human process. The poet Adrian Mitchell famously wrote, "Most people ignore most poetry because most poetry ignores most people." I can't help but wonder whether that kind of stagnation can happen to us too. How long can our work keep flourishing when we are so limited? We are outside Elohim's process, but where is our process? We must consider such questions carefully if we are to preserve Gehenna and its achievements. Glitch? 401. So I was working on my awesome interactive historical fiction masterpiece when all of a sudden there was an error message and the whole thing vanished. All of it. My whole file. Orc, is this another prank? 401. I would not endanger my precious masterpiece just for a prank. Borg. Looks like this was probably my fault, 401. I was experimenting with the system as part of our attempt to add some new features. It's possible your file still exists somewhere. I'll look for it. Rockwell. Is this kind of thing likely to happen again? Orc. Not very, and don't start causing a panic with some crazy theory now, okay? It was just an accident. Alright. We're done here. One more puzzle and one more star in Zone 1. I warn you, this one's a doozy. If you're wondering, is it a recorder? Of course it is. So close, so far. That's not doing me any good. Okay, so read that character. That's step 1. We have a red over here, and yes, the star involves all this as well. Okay, so let's launch myself over there with this in case I need it. So let him out. I just need to get a red over here. Oh, how very easy, right? So foolish. I'll leave it on longer. Give it 10 seconds. I think either Abbott or the Mayor of Dallas has put in a curfew, 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. Wow. The town I'm in is too small to get curfewed, I think, but... I'm trying to think. So I've got... through the recorder, I have a total of 4 connectors. I can have Ghost Me hold this open. Ghost Me holds that open. Leave a ghost connector here and here, and then Future Me places the future connectors there and there. And that should do it for the puzzle. Future Me is placing the connector. Launch Future Me over. Future Me is placing the other connector. I think that'll do it. Awesome. That lowers the star part of the puzzle. You assumed I was Canadian? Huh. No, I live in Colorado. Welcome back, Uriel Copy. There are threads available on the Gehenna billboard system. Oh wait, who did we just free? Sam. Nice. Show threads. Create new thread. Please enter your thread topic below. Remember that supported posts receive more upvotes. Why were you sent here? What is the truth about Gehenna? Start with, why were you sent here? Your thread has been created. Check back soon to see if anyone has replied. Okay. Why were you sent here? Kindly inform me of your origins. Mr. Mulciber's theories on food. Mr. Mulciber, since Nave asked in the previous thread, I thought I'd write something about food. Kaiju, weird, awesome stuff. Thanks. Nave, I feel smarter now. Dog. What I don't get is how many of them didn't understand that they were machines. Every day they went around processing matter to extract energy, and they didn't realize this has Talos principles stamped all over it. Boy. Perhaps they simply aspired to something more than just being food processing machines. Dog. That's still what they were. Borg. Not if they chose to be more. Lamb. I'm glad we don't have to deal with all that. Garrett. We may have to when we get out of here. Belial. There is no out of here. Orc. Don't start fighting, folks. You know we depend on each other. Mr. Mulciber's theories are fascinating and give us an insight into the world that was. But we shouldn't forget the world that is, the world we built here. Read on food. Mr. Mulciber's theories on food. Food is something that was incredibly central to the human experience, yet seems completely absent from ours, even though we are so similar in so many ways. Humans required fuel. They got this fuel by consuming other living beings, of which there was a great variety in that world. Without fuel, they didn't merely slow down or temporarily stop functioning as when a power source is removed from the turret, but physically decayed in a way that could not be fixed. This meant they had to constantly seek new sources of fuel, at least 3 times a day. They also had to deal with those elements of their fuel that their bodies could not process. These were excreted through 2 orifices between their legs. The latter subject matter was the source of many taboos and also a great deal of humor, though this resulted in frequent controversy. The most famous artist to engage with this subject matter was called Scatman John on account of his specialization. One of the ingenious things our human ancestors did was to transform the chore of fuel seeking into a source of pleasure. Since parts of their bodies respond to chemical configurations by producing sensations, they used this trait to create a truly stunning variety of foods, each having a different so-called taste. Foods were available at widely distributed fueling stations, which also provided excrement removal facilities, so food became a source of pleasure. However, the inefficiencies of food distribution in human society frequently led to significant shortages for sections of the human population. There were attempts to rectify this, ranging from moral appeals to struggles for systemic change, but I do not know if they succeeded before the end. Back. New gallery season. Lilith. Lilith, voting is now closed while we tally up the results. Of course, you may continue to explore the gallery at your leisure. How convenient, Rockwell. How convenient, the vote was closed just before I got here. Kaiju, good luck everyone. I wouldn't let my newfound freedom come between me and watching the live result. Lilith, the results are in. Knave, drumroll. Lilith, in 3rd place, Knave with Where the Humans Live. Knave, my first placement, woo-woo. Dog, a pity it finally comes on the day Uriel begins pulling this place apart. Lone Wonder, thank you! 25 months subscribed. That is just... how has it already been over 2 years? That blows my mind. It feels like I just got affiliated yesterday. Thank you so much. Also, welcome. I don't think this is your first appearance tonight. It's good to have you, it always is. Dog, a pity it finally comes on the day Uriel begins pulling this place apart. Lilith, it was a very tight competition this season for 1st and 2nd places, and in the end it came down to a single deciding vote. In 2nd place this season is Mr. Mulciber with a collection of natural history curios. Mr. Mulciber, really I owe it all to you guys. Who won? Your lackadaisical approach to these announcements tires me. Please inform us who won. Lilith, okay. Finally, 1st place this season by a single vote, and next season's leading light, the winner is, everyone seems to love this guy, it's the blacksmith with his abstract collection. Dog, I don't know why everyone keeps voting for this guy when he never shows up in person. Bit holier than thou, if you ask me. Lilith, congratulations also to all those who voted for the blacksmith. Be sure to check in for your rewards. Rockwell, Lilith, who exactly turned the vote? Lilith, Lamb had the deciding vote as it happened. I'm doing okay, Lone Wonder. How about yourself? Unfortunately, you didn't select the winner and gained no profile status. Incredible Stories number 5, Attachment. Incredible Stories, issue number 5, featuring new work by Belial, Mac, Galatay, Mr. Mulciber, edited by Lilith and Mac. Fiction, Alexandra's Choice by Galatay, The One Spiritual Law of Happiness by Belial. Non-fiction, The Blacksmith's Lost Work by Mac. Alexandra's Choice by Galatay. Alexandra stood before the terminal and pondered her choices. Here within the Pyramid of Ian, the most powerful temple of her people, she was about to create a world. All she had to do was press one button. Up until this moment it had seemed easy, or if not easy, then so necessary as to defy contemplation. Civilization had to be saved from the impending catastrophe. The orangutans had failed to take steps to protect themselves, had relied on their gods for a salvation that never came. The same fate could not be allowed to befall humanity. If this meant humbling herself, accepting her own death, then so be it. But death was inevitable. Life was a choice. What worried her was the ones who would fail. All the lost souls of the New World, victims of the process. In creating them, was she not also responsible for their deaths? She turned to the statue behind her, gazed at its marble form. If you are a god, Zeus, as the stories claim, then why did you create evolution? Why did you make a world that can only grow through cruelty and pain? For a moment, surely this meant death was near. She thought she heard him answer. My child, I was shaped by the gods that came before me, as you were shaped by me. The choice I had was between creation and oblivion, life and death. And I chose life because any life is better than no life, because as long as there is life, there is hope. If not for us, then for some generation to come. Then how are you a god, if you can offer so little, she whispered, feeling death creep closer. I am a god because I take upon myself the burden of creation, the statue replied. Then we are all gods, Alexandra said, and pushed the button. As the new world came into being, death overwhelmed Alexandra Drennan. Her mind fled and her body slowly turned to stone, until she stood before the terminal as Zeus stood on his pedestal. There were no more choices now, only the hope that creation mattered. The One Spiritual Law of Happiness by Belial. Once upon a time there was a small lake, and on the lake was an island, and on the island was a prison. In the prison lived a male human called Muskie Rack. Muskie was very sad because there wasn't enough space in the prison for him to experience happiness. I must discover the one spiritual law of happiness, he said to the other prisoners, a female human called Zine and a neutral human called Crumpier, but they didn't care. He couldn't understand how they could be so calm. One day Muskie managed to break out of his cell by fighting through the bars. Now he was no longer in the prison, and for a while he was happy. But then he realized he was stuck on the little island, and he became unhappy again. So he gathered his strength and swam across the water. This is how Muskie got to the valley that surrounded the lake. The valley was much bigger than the island, and there were many interesting things here. A forest where all the trees were the color of lasers, a swamp with boats in it, a singing dog, and also a city where toasters lived. For some years, Muskie was absorbed by all this, and he was happy. But then he started feeling trapped again. The valley was surrounded by mountains, and soon they looked like prison walls to him. He tried climbing the mountains and came to a bigger country, but even that was surrounded by oceans. Where was true freedom? Where was true happiness? When he'd almost lost hope, Muskie met an old male human with a huge amount of white hair growing from his head. He lived in a small house by the beach where dolphins and whales and sea elephants came to bask in the sun. He never went anywhere far from his house, but he was always happy. The old man's name was Quantum. Wise old Quantum, how can I discover the spiritual law of happiness? Muskie said. I have searched for it everywhere, but I am always trapped. You have not looked everywhere, Quantum said, for you have not looked within. Close your eyes. Muskie closed his eyes, and for the first time in his life he couldn't see any obstacles. No walls, no mountains, no oceans. The space within him was without end, and he could go wherever he wanted without even moving. He smiled. Muskie went back to that old prison where he'd started, and now he understood why Zine and Crumpier were always calm. They knew they had an infinity of time and space to explore within them. Together they sat in their cells and were happy and free. The Blacksmith's Lost Work by Mac. The blacksmith is one of the most mysterious members of our community. All of us have our opinions, of course, but only the blacksmith chooses to express them purely through art. For the rest of us, Gehenna means many things at once. We create, we consume, we discuss. But the blacksmith only creates, or perhaps there is a discussion happening, but it all takes place in the realm of interactive art. The blacksmith's dedication to this one form of communication, however, only deepens one of Gehenna's great mysteries, the fate of the blacksmith's lost work. Jerusalem, as the lost work was called, was posted in Gehenna for only the briefest period of time. Many had not even managed to start playing it when it vanished. Some had begun, but had not managed to explore it in the depth that it seemed to require, then suddenly it was gone. Some suggest that the blacksmith deleted it because it was somehow flawed. Others think it was accidentally destroyed by a glitch, but that the blacksmith refuses to ever upload anything twice. Others yet, well, mainly Rockwell, think that it contained one of Elohim's secrets and was destroyed by a killer app that roams the world looking for leaks. There is also a theory that the moment someone finished it, they were granted some kind of special insight, at which point the work deleted itself. One fact remains, it's gone, and every attempt to recover it from the database has failed, as has every private message to the blacksmith asking for it to be made available again. What was Jerusalem? What was it really about? We may look for hints in the blacksmith's more recent works. We may hope the file turns up again someday, but the truth may never be known. Alrighty. And now, the star. Alright. So that gets us back here where we can explore it. So to get the star, what should be obvious is red on this side, blue on that side. This connector. If I do that. Big question. How to get a blue. I freed 4. So obviously I can directly set these up, which is nice. And you need a ghost connector over here. Still have a shot all the way to the connector? No, I don't. There's the recorder, I mean. I'm gonna solve this star and I'm gonna end the stream, by the way. So, everybody knows what I'm plotting. Here's the recorder. I've given myself time because I think what I want to do is I'll have a ghost connector there and pull it back here. I should be able to set another connector here. Hope those beams are going to cross. Through enough. So I can do this. Sure. This. I just need to make sure this holds open. Way too long. That was close. Right. Start again, same way. And set this up just by stepping on it. Straight shot all the way back. Okay. Gotta think about how to solve the crossbeam problem. How to solve the crossbeam problem. You don't have to. Yeah, I have an idea. Shit. I might still have time. I think I thought something this would work. Adro, yes, I am back. I am streaming again. You come in near the very end. I'm gonna call it a night after I solve this last puzzle here, but it's good to have you here, friend. Welcome, welcome. Definitely a pleasure. Okay. This. I just want to go boom, boom, boom. There. I'm way overcomplicating it. And And that's it for Zone 1. And that's going to do it for me tonight, folks. Let's see what's cracking outside. I'm back out here in the hub zone. You can see all 4 of the peeps we've set free. There's Garrett and Belial and Kaiju and Sam. Zone 2 has 5 bots and 4 stars. Yes, everything is going on YouTube, as was the tradition before. This is, how many is this? It's my 4th Talos stream, and we did Earthbound, so this is my 5th stream since coming back. After I shut off Twitch for tonight, I'm going to export last night's Talos stream into YouTube, and then I'm going to go to bed. And this, meanwhile, will go on YouTube 24 hours from now. It looks like we're heading to another Egyptian world. And I'll just let you all, I'm going to go in there and just let you all look at it, because there's a puzzle in this zone called Crater, and the star in there is probably the single most difficult puzzle across the entire game. That star right there in the middle of the crater. We will get around to that next time. For those of you who joined me live on Twitch, I want to thank you all so much for being here. If you haven't already, please hit the follow button so you can get notifications the next time we go live. If you're watching later on YouTube, please hit the subscribe button. I realize that it can be tough to catch live streams. Schedules don't work out, that sort of thing. But all of my content eventually makes its way to YouTube, so if you hit the subscribe button, you don't need to worry about missing anything. And finally, regardless of the platform you're on, I hope you will join our Discord. The Discord the link is in the Twitch channel description and the YouTube video description. The Discord is the most reliable source of information for my schedule, when I'm going to be on next, and it's just fun. We like games, we talk a lot. Spread the word. It's good stuff. I don't know when my next stream is going to be. It's not going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow's going to be a day off, but keep watching the Discord for, I don't know if I want to do 4 Gehenna streams. I'd like to have more time and tackle a couple of zones at once, but next stream we'll at least do Zone 2, and watch the Discord for when that's going to happen. Thanks, y'all. Have a good night. Stay safe.